So, Brenda,
Yes.
drum roll please. What is her weight? Good morning everybody and welcome to Working Horses with Jim. Today's video is a little bit of a continuation of our last video, and we are weighing Lady up for a contest. So you guys that watched last video got a good glimpse of how she's looking in a few different spots, and you can go back to last video if you'd like to get a better idea. So today we have the answer to our contest we had on our last video. So you can't guess anymore, but for the people that guessed in our last video, and they only had 24 hours to do it in, so that time has passed. But the answer to her weight is...
So at the end of the video, we will tell you the answer to the big question. What does Lady weigh?
Well, good afternoon, everybody. So this afternoon, I'm going to attempt to do something I probably should have done a long time ago, but I just haven't made the time to do it. When I first started training my colts, and by the way, this is Earl. I actually took Duke back outside with Bree and Lady, and somebody's asked even recently, it seems like I've been using Earl more than Duke lately. Well, that is true. It seems like I just have more horses than I have the work for, and because of the weather, wet weather we've been having so much of lately, I'm not able to do the work that I really want to do. I know I need to start working Duke more to get him in shape and to get him a better workhorse, but there's just so much, only so much I can do. So yes, I have been using Earl just a tiny little bit more than Duke, but both of them, when I started out, I would drive them single. And I'm gonna bring them over here. So we drove them single just around the driveway quite a lot. And I showed that in a lot of different videos, me just driving around the driveway. So today, I want to go to the next step after that, which is hitching them up to my cart, which I have right up there. But before I hitch up to that, I want to drive them around the driveway one time, and we'll just talk, and I want to explain a few things. Cup stop. Cup stop. I might need the whip. Brenda, the whip is right over there. Could you grab it for me, please? It's it seems like people don't mind so much if I use a whip on a horse lightly than if I use the lines. I cuffed out. But in a lot of ways, it's actually easier too to use the whip instead of coming around with the lines and cracking them when they need to be cracked. Anyways, we have spent a lot of times over the last 2 years, 3 years now, of driving these guys around the driveway. I'm just going to drive around one time. They know how to do this very well. But generally, the best way to go would be to teach them to drive single in the cart before you hitch them double, or at least as you're hitching them double and teaching them that double stuff to start with. But I never did that. They went from just driving around like this to going right with Ken and driving double. But I'm hoping to show you today that because they've done a lot of driving and a lot of working already with Ken and Baron, that I can hitch them right up to the cart, and they should be able to work just perfectly fine on the cart, even though they've never done it before. When I first started Baron, and I videoed a lot of this, I had a lot of troubles with him on the cart because he really wasn't that used to driving either single or double. But so often when you have a young horse or an old horse that has never drove single but has done a lot of driving double, they take to it very easily. It's just no big deal at all. Sometimes it's a little tricky having them step into the shafts, but the actual driving and operating with a cart is not a problem, especially with these colts, because I've worked them on both sides of the pole. So those shafts are going to hit him on both sides of his legs, but he's just not going to care. Now, he may prove me totally wrong, but we will see. Careful step. Careful. G, 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 oh. G, G, oh, oh, no, oh, 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 oh. Careful step. Careful step. Oh, oh, oh. G, 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 G. Calf step. Calf step. Oh, oh. I calf step. Careful. Oh. No. No. Good boy. Okay. That didn't surprise me at all. He's never been hitched to the shafts. To jump over into a set of shafts like this, totally new to him. So I'm not surprised, and it didn't concern me. It doesn't disappoint me that he just didn't jump in place like he should have. So now, because of his inexperience of the actual shafts and whatnot, I'm going to have Brenda put the camera down and help me so that we can just take this cart and slide it into spots while he's standing at the truck body. He stood in the barn all day yesterday. He's a little bit anxious. He's a little bit got a lot of energy, but that's okay. I have high hopes that I can hitch him right up, and after he gets used to the shafts, he may fight with the shafts a little bit. I'm gonna leave him tied here and go do something else, let him get used to just standing in the shafts, and then I'll come back out. And I think, and I hope, and he may prove me wrong, but I hope I can just drive right out of here and drive him around with this cart. So we'll get hitched up and we'll see what happens. Okay, come over here, let me tell you what to do. So I want you to hold that side of the shafts up, I'll hold the other side of the shafts up, and we're going to slide him right in, and then when he gets into here,
you'll slide it into that.
Actually, we can actually hitch it here right now. I'm going to hitch it on the very first one. So it's a bigger hole, and you can slide right into there, okay? Then I'll have to readjust those, but it'll just help us. Okay, let me just shove him over. Get up. Oh. Okay. Oh. Oop. Okay, pull it right in place. Okay. Okay, hold it. Just keep holding it up. Been a while since I've hitched this, but I think it was on the 5th link. Okay, got it.
That worked really good.
It did.
With it making it loose like that.
Okay. So now I'm just going to adjust these straps here, which puts the shafts at the height that I want them to be. So I've got this right where I want it. And this is what we call the hold back, or I call them the hold back. And so this, when the cart, when he's going downhill, he won't be actually pulling on the tugs because they'll be slack. And this cart will actually slide ahead. And this will come back to his britchin, which will help hold this together. And as you can see, this britchin is really too low. It should be up here, but I'm not going to worry about that. My new harnesses that I've shown you that I haven't got going yet, all I'm doing is waiting on some sweat pads, and then I'm going to be setting that up. But it's set up so it should be right. This one here is really set up for a bigger horse, and I'd have to cut a couple holes in here to make it different. But anyways, it's fine for right now. So I was very pleased. He hitched up to that beautifully. Now I'm quite confident I could just jump right on there and drive him away. But I think what I'm going to do is just leave him sit right here for a little while. Just same old thing as I've said many, many times ago. And there's so much to learn about just learning how to to stand still. And even if he's tied, he's still learning to stand still. And because of the fact he's done so much with a teammate over the last few months, this is just not a scary thing to him. It's just no problem. And like I said, this is the absolutely very first time we've hitched him up into a set of shafts. So we'll be back in just a few minutes. Okay, so let's get back to seeing if Earl would drive. It seems like every time when you get away from one thing to go do another thing, somebody stops or something happens, so it kind of slows you down. But that's okay. We just had a customer that left. But one thing I did get done is I got a little fence here. So this morning we tried Pansy out tied to a stake, and she did okay. And she picked at it a little bit, but she kept getting herself hung up on the stake. And I want to get her to eat grass really before I try to stake her again, probably. So my goal now, my next thing I want to try is I got a little barnyard fence out here in this nice grass. After I'm done with Earl, I'm going to come out here and lead Pansy out here and see what happens. And yeah, we'll see what happens in a few minutes. Okay, so Earl's been standing here for, boy, it's been half an hour probably, at least almost. During that time, I actually found a piece of pipe. I've never had a place to put my whip here. I don't hardly ever need the whip, but once in a while I do. And so I won't carry it with me at all times. But anyways, I'd like a place to drop it, so I have a place to store it on the cart. So I found this piece of pipe, took some zip ties and just strapped it in place. It's quite secure, and that's gonna be great. So now, what I want to try to do, I'm not going to just head right out on the road with him. What I'm going to try and do is, a lot of times, Earl is a lot like Baron was. He likes to back. So I think I might do one or two things. I'm going to unhitch him, jump on the car. If he doesn't stand still and tries to back up, I'm actually going to, for right now, I'm going to let him back up. And then I'm going to jump on the car as he's backing up, whatever. And then I'm going to ask him to go ahead and have him drive him back up to the truck body. I'm kind of explaining all these things out because there's probably somebody out there that has some horses that wants to learn how to go about teaching them a horse to work single. And I'm just going to show a few of the things that I've tried over the years. And even now, it's a trial and error type of thing. There's a lot of things I will do differently tomorrow than I did today. For example, I will start making him stand there. So when I come back to hitch on, to jump on the car, I do not want him to back up. But today he probably will, and that's okay. Those are things I had to deal with Baron also. And if you saw those videos I had of him, you could see I had quite a bit of troubles with him not standing good when I go to get on the cart. So there again, Baron should come around, Earl should come around a lot faster because of the time and hours he spent as a team. Okay, so I'm going to take my lines and get them set up before I unhitch him. And I think what I'll do is tie a knot in them, which is I really like, so I can set them on my seat so they're in place so I can grab them easier. So now, if things go super, super good, he'll stand here while I jump on. I'm not expecting it, but you just never know. Now I'm going to unhitch him and still hold him for a second. Ho, ho, ho. No. Now what he's going to try and do, more than likely, is go towards the barn, because that's what he'd just soon do, go back in the barn with his buddies. Ho, ho. Yep. So even one more thing of the advantages of people have talked and asked about blinders and all that good stuff. Here's another good thing about the blinders, okay? So I'm standing right here. He hears me. He knows I'm here. But he can't, as soon as I step back here out of his line of sight, he can't actually see me. So I'm going to use that to my advantage. I'm going to kind of come up here, keep on talking, and he knows I'm close by, but he can't see me. And it may or may not work. And then what I could do, get up here, is at some point here, just jump back really fast and grab my lines. Now, if I can't get him to stand, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to go back there fast, grab the lines, allow him to back up if that's what he's going to try and do, and I'm going to take advantage of that. So as you can see, I kind of tricked him into it. Bap here. Bap, oop. No. I kept that. Oh, good boy. Back up here. Back up here. Oop. I cap a step. Cap a step. Oh. Oh. Ho. 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 There's a lot of weird feeling to this because these shafts, as you see, can kind of rock back and forth. Don't come too close, Brenda. Oh. Oh. So as soon as I stop, oh, it has this rocking motion to it. Oh. Oh. And he's going to get used to that. Also, the shafts, one on each side, are going to be hitting his legs, especially in the early times, of driving, because he's just not used to things. So, but because of Javier, step out. Oh, no. Oh, now because of the time he spent on both sides of the pole, when I've been driving him with a team, he's used to that, the tongue or the pole hitting his legs. So these shafts do not scare him. What scares him the most is this rocking motion. If we just got out and started walking, I think he'd be less troubles. I kept up. Careful. Up, back, 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 cheek, back. I cap step. Careful, careful. The turning of the cart is going to be the hardest thing for him to get used to because it's just hitting him differently than it would be with the team. G, 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 careful, careful, careful. But because of all the time he's had with the team, he's taken this so much better than he would have, obviously, if he'd never had that prep time with the team. Ha, here. Ha, 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 careful. Careful, careful, careful. So we're going to go partially out to the driveway and turn around one more time before we make the full loop around the driveway. He's turning left and right fairly well. G, 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 okay, G, 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 G. But it is quite different for him to do this. So I'm going to walk back to the truck body or close to it. And I will actually turn right around. I'll probably turn to my left. And then I will go right around the driveway. Ha, 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 careful, careful, careful. I'm so pleased how he spins left and right. He's getting the hang of it really, really fast, which I expected because of all the time as a team, you know, with Ken and Baron. As good as he's doing, one has to keep just be ready for anything, because anything could happen, and it happens in a split second, and then they can bolt and run and then you're in deep trouble. And the last thing you want, of course, is a runaway. Oh. Oh, I see a car coming. Oh. 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 Hey, careful step. Careful step. Ah, there. Now this little walk around the driveway he did so many times over the course of the last 3 years, and it's just such a comfortable place to him because he's done it so much, not with a cart, but just walking. And so he's doing really good. Careful, careful, careful. 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 Come on. Not sure why, but he sure put himself in low gear right there. And now he's starting to walk a little better. So I'm going to take a little bit of left turn, ha. And then I'm going to take a right turn, G, 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 G. Every time when I'm turning to the right, I put pressure on his right line and I release the left line so there's no pressure on that side of his mouth. Careful, careful, careful. Now we'll walk around this way, careful, and see how he does. It's hard to believe that he's never done this before, never been hitched to a cart. But like I've said, when you drive him as a team, even an older horse that's never been hitched single, it's surprising how easily they usually are able to do it. I don't do a lot of single horse work just because I have so much work to do, careful G, that I need to use the team to get more accomplished. But it's so beneficial for the horse to do single horse work. It just teaches them so much, teaches them to kind of keep their head and their body straight, and they learn how to turn on their own without the teammate doing it for them. Everything that they do at this stage, they have to do themselves. They can't rely on their teammate to coax them or to drag them left or right or any of that stuff, or even to start and to stop. He has to do it on his own without the help of a teammate. And of course he has my help, but still it's definitely different. So we'll go up to the truck body and tie him and let him spend some more time there. While he's standing there, I think we'll go get Pansy and lead her out into the barnyard and see if maybe she would be comfortable out there, maybe even eat a little grass. If she doesn't eat grass, our next step would be to put another animal with her, but not today. Oh. Oh, good boy. Oh. No. 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 Good boy. What do you think?
Very good.
I think you did really good.
I have several observations or questions.
What's that?
One, I think both him and his brother look really good single. Baron.
I think they really look good when they get his new harness on too.
Yeah, I think he looks really good. And the other thing is, there's those moments when you start out, when he's just learning, and it's like he's so panicky, he's probably not even listening to you at all. So the thing is that you somehow have to be the one that's completely in control and knows what to do when he's like not telling you, doing what you tell him to do. And so that's a real art or something, that you have to not panic like they're panicking, because then you just get in trouble, right?
Absolutely. You have to definitely be the boss, and he has to follow you, what you tell him to do. But somehow, yes, you're right, somehow you have to transfer from your brain into his brain so he knows what you want him to do.
Because he was like, oh, I don't know what to do, freaking out, you know, for a minute.
But just such a short period of time.
Oh yeah, he did great.
Yeah.
But there's those moments when it could all just go really south, really fast.
Right. Yep. Okay, let's go move your cow.
Okay. Here's Pansy. She's been happy in the barn, and she doesn't like outside. Of course, right here is a sloppy mess because we got so much rain yesterday. But she's going to green pasture. She won't like it here either.
Okay, so one other thing maybe we've talked about before, but we have not taught her what electric fence is. So we bought this cow from a large farm that, you know, she really, I don't think she ever went outside. And she surely would never went out on electric fence. That's why she doesn't know how to eat grass. So she has to learn what this electric fence is, and she knows nothing about it. And this particular electric fence is just a rope wire. I'm not sure what they call it, but whatever. It's a portable type of fencing. And so she just walked it, as you can see, maybe see, and she got zapped. And a lot of times with young animals, I will bring them right up and actually force them to stick their nose on the fence. I'm not going to do that with her because she'll learn a lot faster than a young animal will. When they're standing in wet soil, wet grass, and they get touched by electricity, it really hurts, really, really, really bad. And because of that, if you do this at the right time, they get the hang of the fact that, hey, this electric fence, I can't cross that border. Now, I'm still holding the rope, and she's walking around, and hopefully she'll go, and she hasn't figured it out completely yet, but it's not gonna take much. I'm not gonna force her to touch that fence. But if she wants to lick it or something stupid like that, hey, more power to her. So what I'm going to do is just kind of lead her around a little bit, keep her close to the fence, and maybe she'll be stupid enough to touch it like that. A lot of times she's got to stay touched to it for a few minutes, for a few seconds, to really get used to it. I really like the nose. Yeah, that's a good one. Did you see that?
Yeah, don't be so happy about it.
Well, I am happy about it because, you know, this little bit of pain could save her life. She's right next to this road. If she got out, she could get hit by the car. So yes, I'm very happy when she gets zapped because it's one of those things that could save her life. Now I'm holding on to her because if she starts to run, and a lot of times they'll run and they'll hit this electric fence and they'll actually panic and just bull right through it and tear the fence down. And yes, they get shocked in the process, but it hasn't helped them as much as I hold them and they get zapped and they don't go through the fence. So it's so important to do it this way so they really learn. And sometimes it takes a while. So one thing I like to do sometimes is actually get on the other side of the fence because she does lead, and it's more apt to allow her to come through and come a little farther, and more apt to get zapped. A fencer kind of pulsates, so there's times where an animal or myself could touch that fence and pull my hand back really fast, and it's between the pulsating surge, and so you don't feel it. And that's what happens sometimes. It looks like they've touched it, but they didn't, you know, it didn't affect them. And a lot of times with the cow, they got all this saliva dripping off her mouth and nose, and that is actually, use that to our advantage too, because moisture, and she'll get zapped right through it. I really get the fence maybe a little too low here.
Well, she's not going to jump over it.
No. No. Come here. Come here.
She sort of seems to know.
Yeah.
If she doesn't lean into it, you're going to get zapped there, girl.
I hate it when they touch it and they don't get zapped.
Yeah.
And it's good to, this little perimeter fence, to go around the whole thing, and if she could get zapped on every side, it'd be really, really good. But I think you're right. I think she's starting to realize, you know, I better not touch that. Come over here.
I really think she needs a friend out here with her.
And that will be our next step. But if I let another animal out, they just wolf all this feed right down and there would be nothing left. I'm afraid as soon as we let her go.
She's going to follow us or whatever.
No, she's going to go back in the barnyard.
Oh.
Man, she's touched that several times. I'll get there. She got there. Yeah, so as you guys might have noticed, we snipped off the ear tags this morning, so she has no ear tags.
She does have
a big hole in the head.
Ears.
Okay, enough is enough. I'm going to lead her at the other end, and I'm going to tie the rope around her and let her go. Okay, Brenda, I want you to stay back there so that she doesn't go into the barnyard right off, and I'm going to be on the other side of the fence. And we'll see what she does. Yep.
She'd rather go in the muck and not eat anything than eat all this lush grass.
Yeah, she'll probably go back in the barn. But anyways, it'll take time. Let's get back to working Earl. I'm going to take him out and around the field. I think he's ready for it. Got that. Good boy. Got that. Got that.
Do you think it was messing him up?
No. Oh. 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 Good boy. Good boy. I'm very pleased how he did. Needs a lot of practice hitching and unhitching. But other than that, I'm very pleased.
Do you think he liked it?
Loved it. Thank you, guys. He did even better than I expected.
Good boy.
Okay.
So William's here, and he has a shoeing appointment for Randy today down at Andy, our neighbor's. So William's gonna take Randy down, and Jim will be picking him up with Earl. See how Earl does on the road.
Okay, so this morning we put Pansy back out. She did not want to stay in here yesterday, and we brought one of the critters from our young stock out with her, and she's eating the grass, and maybe, just maybe, she'll teach the old lady to eat grass. We put a short gate across the electric fence there, so they got to stay inside for a little while, then we'll open up so they can go back into the barnyard. So we'll keep you updated. Good evening, everybody. Well, tonight we want to share with you the winner or winners of our contest on weighing up Lady. But before we do, let's take one more quick look at her out in the pasture. And now let's go to the scales and see what she weighs. So, Brenda,
Yes.
drum roll please. What is her weight?
1829.
1829. She has gained weight, and that's her weight. So I guess I should have given you guys a little bit of a hint as to her weight before you did your guessing. I should have told you that since all the other horses had actually lost weight, except for Bree, that maybe Lady's not going to be quite as heavy as you think she is. So I didn't do that, and most all of you guys actually had guessed a higher weight than she actually was. So as you heard, her weight was 1829, and only one person guessed it, and there was a lot of people that attempted too. So I thank you guys for all your guesses. So the winner is Madeline Greenham of Newfoundland, Canada. I hope I said your name right, and congratulations on that. We will be sending you a hat. I hope you guys had a good time guessing on Lady's weight and enjoyed the rest of this video. That's it for today. You guys have a great day. We'll see you next time.